to Shaman's Drum, a healing circle for community. When the drum calls, you answer the beat. Enter the circle. Kick up your feet. Healing is happening. Breathe and allow. Let us gather together in this now.
Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to this week ahead show. To join me, we've got a little bit of a shaman's drum kind of episode going on. It's early Sunday morning when I'm recording this. I've got a little cup of nostalgia here with a decaf blend that I brought with me from when I lived in Texas. It's called Taste of San Antonio. So grab your cuppa. That's really good. We have a pumpkin spice. Let me show you. Pumpkin spice candle burning. Yummy. It's super yummy. Pumpkin, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Smells really good. Today we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to get a little shamanic. I've got the drum here. We're going to lighten up a little bit. We're going to read a little bit from the next chapters of Mabon and Murder, do a little storytelling. We're going to try not to use cards today because we're always using cards. So I brought out feathers. All these different feathers I have. I didn't unpack them all. All these are ones that I've found on my journey. And we're going to work with feathers. And we're going to play with this treasure chest and see what's inside of it. This all has to do with the energies over the next 7 days or so. So settle in. If you're new here, see how you vibe with us. See how you like our tribe. If you're returning, thank you for always being here in the interwebs with me, the TLC for the Soul family. Thank you for those who have donated to the channel. It really does help. I do have a coffee, what do you want to call it? On my coffee page, which is linked somewhere in all these show notes, have the links to everything I talk about. I do have a little goal going because I need a new laptop. My old laptop died. So if you want to contribute a cup of coffee to the goal of purchasing a new laptop for the channel and for TLC for the Soul, then that's there as well. Many of you have donated in various ways, and I appreciate all of that. There's card decks, many card decks. I just finished the autumn pack of the Loveland deck, and I've ordered it, yay. So we're getting my copy, and so we'll be playing with that later on this week, playing with the autumnal feel of Loveland. And, there's books. All my books, fiction and nonfiction, are free to read. Those links are also in the show notes to my smash words, I can never say it, publisher, or available free to read on Apple Books, Google Books, Barnes & Noble. I also offer services to help you with your healing spiritual journey. The links to my services are all on my website. Again, all in the show notes. And I would love to work with you I have many different modalities of types of healing and journey work and service work that I do to help you on your path. So if that's something that interests you, then take a look at the services page on my website. With all of that out of the way, now I wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides who overlight this show: Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians. Today we're here to have a little bit of fun, a little lighten up a little bit. As always, as I'm preparing to do a show, I'm shown the energies that surround the energies and the emotions and so forth that surround the collective that watches these shows. And I was picking up on a little bit of frustration. So I want to dive into that. So we're going to read to kind of just lighten up a little bit. We are going to do some shamanic, like a mini little drum journey to do some emotional healing with the, I keep saying shamanic elves. So I do have a shamanic elf guide. So we'll work with her. And we'll do some light language to help energize and uplift us. So I hope you're having a good day. But I did sense so many retrogrades. You could fall into any of these energy streams or be in all of them maybe simultaneously. So obviously there's a lot of nostalgia energy going around. Hence, like I got this taste of San Antonio. The taste of San Antonio coffee just... I was like, I feel like having a coffee, because my guides are like, don't want me to drink too much coffee because it's very acidic. I try to stay very pH. I try to have my field be very pH balanced. But every now and then I'm like, oh, I just want a cup of coffee. And I was digging through the coffee cupboard and I pushed something aside, and this taste of San Antonio, this little decaf blend, was laying down outside. I was like, oh, I forgot I had that. It's so good. So I picked that up and made a cup of that. So nostalgia energy. We're in Virgo season, so you may be feeling the need to like tidy up your home and make it very, in the season, whatever that season is for you, be you Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, because we have people all over the place. So you could be going into autumn, you could be coming into springtime-ish, springish. Anyway, oh my God. But as I was gathering my feathers for the show, I wanted to pull some out, and then I realized there's too many. I didn't want to pull them all out. And there's different bags for like different time periods of my journey. This one was like from when I was living in California, and my trips to Hawaii. I found a bunch of the things that are in here. And then the bag I just unpacked was my Texas time, and all the feathers I found when I was in Texas. And there's another bag somewhere. I had all three of them in my hand, and then somewhere along the way, this might be the Mandela effect. Somewhere along we talked about the last show, we talked about the Mandela Gateway that's coming up here at the end of October with the October eclipse. But somewhere along the way, the third bag has gone missing. Now, in this case, like with the Mandela effect, you're kind of like, did the bag even exist? I'm like, no, in this case, I know the bag did exist. But it's just like nowhere to be found. So a lot of times when we're jumping timelines, and maybe shifting to a higher timeline or whatever, some things get caught in between. And in this case, I looked all over the bag. I had it, and now I don't have it. So I'm going to play with that. I don't know where it went. It's smaller feathers too. It's all the really fun ones like the blue jays and the cardinals and I have a hummingbird feather around here somewhere. So I don't know, it'll turn up when it turns up. So I got frustrated. And so I was like, oh my gosh, what? I just had this. So there's a sense of frustration, I think, in our collective that will be watching this, kind of like, I think we're just getting tired, a little bit tired right now in the journey. Friggin' 6 or 7 planets in retrograde. It's just enough already. And it doesn't stop, right? And so we talk about, you're the soul having a physical experience and a physical body, and you're in control of your emotions, your thoughts, the actions that you physically take in the world. And it's just like, well, it's time to come into more acceptance of where you're at on your path and on your journey, and try not to go down the rabbit hole of the timing of things, because that's really where we get into trouble. Once you fall down the rabbit hole of timing, and you get caught up in there, you can really swirl into a whirlwind of all sorts of conflicting and lower energies, and you have no control over the timing. Spirit has control over the timing of things, and so at that point, you just have to surrender even more to just trust and accept and surrender to the timing of things. Where do we want to go next? Let's just play in this treasure chest for a minute. I want to just kind of put my hand in because I don't remember everything. I packed this treasure chest has been, oh, it smells so good inside, has been with me on my journey for a very long time. I don't even know how long. And so different things get put in and taken out over time. But I want to just dig my hand around in here and see, like without looking, see what might want to come out that has to do with the messages that we're going way down to the bottom. The messages that we're delivering now. Okay, here, I'm just going to take whatever wants to come out. Oh, okay. Who knows what's in here? Oh, weird. Okay, so we have sweetgrass. Oh, this always reminds me of autumn. So we're going to play with the sweetgrass. Oh, it smells so good. There's all sorts of fun things. Rosemary came out. Oh, look, and it's H-E-B. This is also the store from where I used to live in Texas. I love it. I really miss that grocery store. We just have nothing comparable here. And these little jutes, which I usually would use not to hold a joint, but to hold, what the heck would I use these for? I think I would use them when like pieces of sage were getting too small. Maybe that's what they want me to do. So I have this whole bag of sage and yerba santa, and the yerba santa wants to come out. Okay. So we're going to take, oh my God, it smells so good. Oh my gosh, I could just go on and on in this box. So here's what I do. I would like hold now yerba santa is a very powerful ally. I'm not burning the rosemary, but I feel like now is the time, this especially, well, both spring and autumn, of creating things like potions and salves and ointments, like getting your little shamanic herbalist on or whatever, your little druid herbal person. I'm in a real druid weekend right now. I'm having like a little druid monastery shamanic kind of thing. And just opening up to your inner forager, your inner wild woman that keeps saying, or like, you know, the person that knows how to work with plants and herbs, and maybe get some from your garden or from the store and like make something with these. So let's first have a lot of reverence for yerba santa. I'm going to actually do it last. Whenever you are seeking clarity, deeper spiritual wisdom and knowledge, light a little leaf of yerba santa and it will definitely come to you. But let's get a little lighthearted here. I saw 12:22 on the timer. Let's just, oh, please don't set my carpet on fire. Oh my God, a harikete. Let's just burn a little bit of sweetgrass just because it's so nice. My son and I used to burn it a lot when he was little, and he was like, Mom, it smells like cookies. I'm like, yes, it does. All right. I probably should trim the burnt ends and then it wouldn't be like so fiery. But some of them are not. Okay, there. Oh, there we go. So we'll give you a little sweetgrass, a little nostalgia. The nostalgia energy is running rampant, big time. Things coming back. You'll find when in a second here, when we read from Mabon and Murder, there's more nostalgia going on. And if you've been following the story, oh, we'll talk about that in a minute because I want to. Oh, it smells so good. All right, let's get this yerba santa. So let's just set the intention that over the next 7 days or so, ouch, old body woes, that clarity comes to you for things that maybe, and even things like, you know, can you show me where that other bag of feathers is at? Because oh, look. Oh. Hi. Hello, friend. So here's some clarity. Watch the smoke. See if you see any little shapes in the smoke. It has like this sense right now, bringing up a lot of nostalgia kind of feelings. and it is au natural, not au natural, oh no, but it's just like this morning I didn't even like change clothes. I just took my dog out in my like workout, like walkabout dog hiking clothes, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go film a video. I don't care. I don't care if there's no jewelry and no cute shirt. And although this is a cute shirt, it has rainbows, but it's like my Adidas shirt. And I swear I had like a Mandela moment yesterday because, and like Sunday mornings, this is like our hangout time. Because, okay, first of all, the sun has been brutal and relentless here. And someone was mentioning, Awayshore was talking about the radiation of the sun is getting even stronger. And so yesterday I put on sunscreen every day. And especially like I'm trying, I try to keep the colors of my tattoos like vibrant. These are really old, and I think that for what they've been through, they still look pretty darn good. I got them in 2005. But every day that I go out, I just feel like this arm is just on fire from the sun. And I had sunscreen on, and then I put more sunscreen on. And this is the sunscreen I used when I was in Hawaii. So it's like a Hawaiian sunscreen because the Hawaiian sun is very strong. I think because there's not a lot of pollution out there, just like where I live up here, there's very few people up. It's not like where I lived before, where I was in the middle of like Austin and San Antonio, and there's like pollution and a lot of like lots and lots and lots of people. Up here in the North Dakota, there's not that many people. When they said, oh, Fargo's the biggest city, there's 100,000 people. And I was like, oh my God, it's like living in a little tiny, that was the size of some of our smallest towns down in Texas. And then it came from LA before that. It's like, that was like, maybe the town I lived on the coast had 100,000 people. I said it probably had more. So the sun doesn't have a lot of pollution to work through. And I just felt like the radiation, my skin felt like it was on fire and like it just got seared. So I bought some like UV arm sleeves because I'm like, I cannot apparently take the sun. And then I started looking at this tattoo and I was like, is this the Mandela effect? I could have sworn this panther had like some pink on his ear and it's not there anymore. And I'm like, well, nothing else around it is faded. And then I thought, was there pink there? If you don't know about the Mandela Gateway, you can watch the video before this, but I was like, was there pink there? And I just couldn't for the life of me remember whether there was pink there or not on his little ear. And I was like, well, if there was, I'm miffed. Like, I don't want it back. And if there wasn't, I want the little pink on his ear anyway. And I might have to go and get my colors touched up. Although the guy that did them is down in San Antonio. And he's still working. He's still doing tattoo artistry. And I would probably want to go back to him to have him redo his work. Because he just took my elements that I wanted and he designed everything for me. So it's like, well, I'm not going to get to San Antonio anytime soon. But anyway, bucket list. Whenever I say that, it's like, just add it to the bucket list. All right, let's get going and get more. We're just going to let this Yerba Santa continue its magic of bringing in clarity and wisdom and all of that. Let's just quickly read these next chapters of Mabon and Murder, only because I wasn't going to, and I thought, well, some people may be following this story, and even if they're not, like, I read these, and I was like, oh, it's mildly amusing to me, so maybe they will help lift your spirits. So the last time we left our Bringers of the Light friends, we were with Polly Willikers. She had gone back in time, more nostalgia energy, more retrograde stuff. She'd gone back in her life to 1979. She had gone to some, at that time in Rockaway Point, some like disco club called Jiggly Wiggles. And people had been telling her about this drink called the Old Maritimer. And only certain people were allowed to order it. And the bartender who made it was kind of like, I don't even know how it got on the secret. It was on a secret menu. It was basically like a very potent love spell, but it would call in seafarers, ships, schooners, old sea captains and stuff from, see, I'm already getting amused, from Rockaway, like into Rockaway Point Bay. And the person that was being called would come ashore and go directly to the person who had ordered and drank the Old Maritimer drink. Well, Polly didn't really care about having a new lover. And so she wanted to feel that she wanted to like play with the magic of the drink. She was just a little daring. And so she went and she ordered and drank the Old Maritimer. She went down to Rockaway Point Bay and she was waiting for the schooner or the sea captain, whoever was going to come in, and no one came in. And so she just kind of forgot about it and said, okay, whatever. I guess this drink doesn't really work. And she went home. I remember I told you guys, this was the, I remember to link to all these episodes, but I think 2 shows back, we did the monad download, and I reread a couple of chapters, and I told you there's many packets of energy work involved in these. And so if you wanted a love spell, you wanted to work with a love spell, then you could have really taken advantage of the Old Maritimer. You could have gone into meditation. I'm just going to share this secret now because I don't think so many people get it when I talk about these monads, but you could have gone into meditation. You're a magical spiritual being having a physical experience. You're multidimensional. You're a manifester. You're a magician. So if you wanted to work a very potent love spell, you could have gone into meditation, gone to Jiggly Wiggles in your meditation, gone to see the bartender and ordered an Old Maritimer. And he would have had to have discerned, he had several ways he had to discern who could drink the drink or not, because it's very powerful. And if you weren't ready, then he wasn't going to serve it to you. But you could have let him discern if you were ready for the Old Maritimer, and then you could have drank the Old Maritimer, and you could have hoped for the best and seen what was going to happen in your now 3D reality. That's how you can use some of these monads and things from these stories. So I don't know if anybody really picked up on that or not. I did kind of hint at it, but I was like, a couple people like reached out to me, and I was like, no, I don't think they really get what's going on here. So same thing. There was a fountain of, there was a grotto of youthing in there as well. And you could have gone to that, and you could have worked with the spirit deities there on some youthing and health, healing, physical healing stuff too. So maybe I just need to be more blatant and just point them out. But I try to like let the magic come to you rather than me always pointing out all the metaphors and stuff. But anyway, let me just keep going. All right. So Scratchy and Polly. So Scratchy goes home with Polly after the Jiggly Wiggles incident. He had been previously the mascot of the Jiggly Wiggles bar, and somehow he was invited from beyond the beyond to go join Polly as her familiar. And so he does. And so they go home, and the next morning we come to chapter 10, which is a schooner does come ashore. A schooner comes ashore. So Polly left thinking no schooner. But chapter 10 is a schooner comes ashore. Now, these are all channeled. These are done via automatic writing, all my books, everything I do. So I don't know what's going to happen next. So when we left off in the last chapter, I didn't know a schooner was coming. I didn't know who was coming until I channeled in the next couple of chapters. But here we go. There was a deep fog that remained the next morning after Polly's Jiggly Wiggles foray. Now, what happens here to break in? Now, there's metaphors and stuff for your week ahead in these channeled writings. So pick out what resonates with you, and this will help you understand either the energy that's coming up for you, things that might be coming up for you. That's the point of me reading these stories, in addition to just like laughing and trying to be entertaining. She went about her business, which at that time was to wake and clear the energy of herself and her home. She made a batch of horehound tea. I didn't even know what that was when I wrote it. And I was like, I had to look it up. It sounds like it doesn't taste very good, but it says she took it with sugar and cream. Oh, this goes back to your inner, your inner wild foraging person coming out. She made a batch of horehound tea, which she took with sugar and cream. Although that didn't do much to cover the flavor, her use of it was purely magical, and the flavor was secondary. So working with herbs and stuff for magic. The tea helped with her psychic visions. Hey, we just used something for that. We used Yerba Santa. And with being able to counteract the negative polarity that was coming from a particular house up the street that seemed to be up to no good. I don't know what's going on there in your neighborhood. Polly couldn't be certain, not yet anyway, But she thought she had on several occasions seen a dark doctor visiting this residence, and Polly, who wanted her magic to remain anonymous, so to speak, did not want to be discovered working her light magic unless the time was right. Down in the harbor, a new boat pulled into the docks of Rockaway Point. Maybe some of you did work this spell and you don't realize it. Drawn in by a particularly potent Old Maritimer, the schooner, the Dark Amelia, glided into a safe berth alongside the long-standing Rock of the Bay's tall ship. A drawbridge came down. Is that what it's called? A drawbridge came down to the wharf below, and a figure dressed in what could only be called vintage regalia made its way onto shore. The fact that it was 1979 and most folks in Rockaway Point were wearing bell-bottoms and earth sandals did nothing to dissuade the figure from disembarking or being noticed. He was, after all, being magically called onto shore by something outside space and time. The sea captain of the Dark Amelia made his way up to the parking area at the wharf, and tipping his captain's hat to the first passerby, he put a finger to the wind, sniffed the air, and dutifully made his way towards Bell Bottom Lane and the residence of one Polly Willikers. Chapter 11, Scratchy Takes a Bath. The air seemed thicker at Polly's, and she had a strange feeling that someone was coming. She lit the end of a long cigar that she rolled herself and took a drag. She blew the smoke, and it went into a counterclockwise circle. Oh, Widdershins, she sighed. She knew it. Something or someone was up to no good. Or so it seemed. She caught herself second-guessing the sign and wondering if maybe she was imagining things. Okay, this week, next 7 days, do not second-guess your intuition, intuitive prompts, what you see in your visions. Did it have to be something bad? She chided herself, realizing that she was always prepared for the worst. Okay, you guys, we need to shift our mindset. We're going to clear some of that energy out here in just a minute. She balked and course-corrected, realizing that the transgressions of the past had made her somewhat of a negative Nancy. She had some work to do there still. But no matter, something or someone was coming, and she should prepare. But as luck and divine timing would have it, there was no time to prepare. I'm telling you, something's going to happen. You're not going to be prepared. Or like you're going to say something's coming and you're going to be like, oh, I need to do something to prepare. And it's going to be like the knock on the door, or the email or something shows up. Captain Witherspoon rapped on the door 3 times. Uh-oh, the dog to wake up. He cleared his throat. He sniffed the air and cleared his throat again. Polly, who was in the process of drawing a tea tree oil bath for Scratchy, felt her own hair stand up at the knock. She rose from the small washtub of warm water and sudsy bubbles and went towards the door, giving Scratchy plenty of time to get out of sight. Polly had lured him there with his favorite basil. I can't read this. It makes me laugh. Polly had lured him there with his favorite Basil Rathbone meat pudding. Basil Rathbone is like really old. Like, was he in the 20s, 30s? He played Sherlock Holmes. I'm telling you, so much nostalgia. Polly had lured him there with his favorite Basil Rathbone meat pudding, and by the time he had realized it was a flea bath that he had been duped into, he'd had a second helping of pudding and a leash tied about him to keep him from jumping off and out of the wretched tub of potion. If there was anything Scratchy disliked more than a tub of tea tree potion, it was being forced to stand still with Polly. He didn't like looking into her eyes, for to do so might give away his true identity, and he didn't want to be found out right now. He had a lot more work to do before he might be ready for that. A lot of these Bringers of the Light stories, the familiars, obviously are like agents of the Bringers of the Light, going and shape-shifting from human form to do assignments into like familiar animal form. Chapter 12, Captain Witherspoon. Now back in 1979, it was customary in Rockaway Point to invite in wayward travelers and offer them a room for the night, a warm fire, or whatever they might need to help them out on their journey. But Polly didn't like the sound of this knocking, and so she grabbed her staff, and keeping it hidden behind the door, she put on her best "you don't know what I'm thinking" smile and opened the door. Scratchy waited off in the other room, also sensing himself that something otherworldly was afoot. Captain Witherspoon tipped his captain's cap and bowed with a flourish. Keeping in mind it was a potent spell that led him here, we can only imagine what he was thinking. But out of his mouth came, "Hello, madam, have any room for a wayward traveler?" And with that, Polly knew that she must acquiesce to the moral code of kindness and invite him in. She had all but forgotten about the Old Maritimer and simply assumed that this was a one-off occurrence and her turn to reciprocate for some good deed that had been done unto her. The schooner in the harbor blew a foghorn, and Captain Witherspoon's otherworldly ears pricked. No, this was no regular schooner and no regular captain. Another manifestation from beyond the beyond, sent to teach a lesson to whoever needed it at the time. And now that time was for Polly Willikers, and she was to learn a very important lesson, one that would actually help her if she could look beyond the immediate discomfort. For Captain Witherspoon held the key codes and fire letters that would cause an awakening in Polly, and that would be the catalyst for her to switch her allegiance to the bringers of the light. I don't even want to say what could be coming for you there. It could be as simple as an unexpected email or notification. It could be as detailed and multidimensional as some sort of catalyst type person returning from your past to bring you another lesson you need to learn before you can move forward on your journey. It's going to be different for each one of you, so pull what resonates, but it does sound like something unexpected. This unexpected visitor is coming in some way, shape, or form to help you learn a deeper lesson. Love it. Not really sure I love it, but let's clear any, what does that bring up in me? That brings up, well, first of all, ambiguity, right? That's a little ambiguous, like what's coming, who's coming. It also brings up a little bit of a sense of like, what's the word? Anticipation, but not in a good way. Kind of like, do I really have to have another lesson? Do I really have to have some freaking wayward traveler show up to teach me something? I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of all this, actually. This is back to the frustration. So let's take a little journey to do some shamanic healing and light language. So get a little bit comfortable. I'm going to share with you the guide that's going to be leading us. She is a shamanic druid elf. My spirit guides. And I will say, even for nostalgia's sake, I went and found the the soul sister who used to do the spirit guide auctions, and she's only on Facebook. No, she's on Instagram too, but she only does the auctions on Facebook in a private group. And I was like, man, do I really want to join I do not like Facebook. I just have not had good experiences with Facebook, and I was really reticent. And I'm like, but I really want to see what's going on in this private group. Like, I really want to be a part of some group that I feel comfortable in. And she's very high vibe, and her group I don't know the people in her group, but I know the way the container she creates is very high vibe. And so I created a Facebook account. I was like, do I make it a private account? I'm like, well, I just don't even want to be on here. But I did go find the group and requested to be in the group, and she let me in the group. And so, and it was just so happens that there's a spirit guide auction happening right now. And I was like, do I need more spirit guides? And I was like, no, I really don't. But it's just kind of fun being in here again. All right, where are you guys? All right, so here's who we're going to be working with. Where are you? Her name is Elena. I just like to read you guys their little descriptions in case you want to connect with them too. Not all the guides that I have want to connect with others. Some of them are just meant for me, but a lot of them do want to connect outwardly with our community. So her name is Elena. She's a shamanic elf. She looks like a beautiful, I think we brought her through on this show more than once. She looks like a beautiful Native American woman who has wisdom but a gentle nature. She does carry a great amount of wisdom and will help you in your journey. She has a raven with her, but also a bluebird. She is someone who balances the light and dark and will show you how to do this as well. She has a deep connection to earth, but also to the spirit world. She's deeply magical and will be an incredible guide. And I take her with me usually on all my shamanic journeys. Bring in Elena. All right. Let's do a short journey to our sacred grove. Let's bring in, oh God, some guides. I really want to get into this. I might have to get a little bit of a different stance here. Okay. Let's bring in some guides to help with some healing and clearing. So I need to make a trance out on this. All right. Dog's leaving. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. I want you to float up out of your space that you're in right now. Come out of your abode or wherever you're at. You're going to see a glistening path up in front of you. And you're going to see Elena, our shamanic elf, with her raven and her bluebird. You'll know that's her, and she will be guiding you down the path to the sacred grove, where I will be waiting for you there. Allow her to lead you. See what things might show themselves to you along this pathway. What feelings you might be feeling, things that might be coming up for healing and release. We're working with earth magic today. The drum is very slow and deep, lulling you into surrender, deep contemplative energy. You begin to see the grove up ahead, sacred river on the left, forest to the right, and an open clearing with our grove of trees in the middle. I'm waiting inside for you around the fire. Come on in, find yourself a seat or a place to lay down. Elena is going to go around to each one of you and give you a little talisman meant just for you. Could be a piece of a bone, a fragment, a feather, a piece of a pelt or fur. We're here to clear and energize for the next 7 days. The energies of this journey, the clearing work that we do, the magic that surrounds you will last for the next 48 hours, taking you into your week ahead with renewed vigor and enthusiasm for what's to come. Now you may call in your own power animal, or spirit guide, shamanic guide. If you do not have one, one will be provided for you. No, one will make itself known to you. Each of these shamanic guides does energy clearing work in their own unique way. I am hearing, though, that some of you do need some soul retrieval work. It's not going to be part of this, but I would definitely look into a session for soul retrieval. You can facilitate that yourself. or you can reach out to me. I can provide one for you. I have links in the show. Allow the guide that's come to you to speak to you for a moment about what they see that needs to be most dealt with right now in your energy field. What needs the most clearing? What are they here to help with? Putting another log on the sacred fire, building the fire even higher. They're telling me that there needs to be clearing around fear of intimacy, invoking more passion, sensuality, stoking of the creative fires, physical energy levels that need to be rebooted. So that's what we're going to be doing here and now. So let your guide spend a moment working in your field, clearing your chakras, doing extractions on whatever energies need to be removed. They're going to be throwing those in this big bonfire we have going in the center to disintegrate those. And I'm going to be bringing in light language to help energize, uplift you, get you ready for the week ahead as they continue their clearing work. Just be open to receive. This light language has many purposes, bringing in some confidence, courage, perseverance, child's play, passion, sensuality, creativity. Aranda kiartata kurtitira. Nyarahiti bukin tirahiha. Shikreto kurtiriti. Priketin maraharakitega mato chara hortin to paratkatin. Take a deep breath. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Hold on to your talisman as you rise. We're going to let Elena lead you out of the grove. I want to thank all the guides who showed up today for this healing and clearing, the light language. I'm going to lead you back to your sacred space in your abode. Time to ground down and come back into your body. Go ahead now and open your eyes. All right, friends. Many dragons showed up for that light language. Been working with a lot of Celtic dragons lately, of all the elements, earth-based, fire, water, spirit. So thanking the guides that showed up for us here today. So reach out to me if you're having a weird week and let me know if I can help in any way. And other than that, I want to thank you for joining me here for this little fun Sunday morning week ahead. I hope you feel energized and excited about what's to come. And we will see you all again soon in the next episode. Take care. This episode was brought to you by Loveland Tarot Shop, where spirituality seekers pop in to see what's next on their path. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon.